It's been nearly 3 years since a Memphis mother lost her teenage daughter to gun violence. And in all that time, the man who was responsible has yet to be brought to justice. Authorities know exactly who he is, but he remains free. This morning, in a story you'll only see exclusively on ABC 24, Scott Mattis sits down with the grieving mother who's still waiting for answers and accountability.
Welcome back to 24 Plus, right here at ABC 24 Memphis, Tennessee. I'm here with a guest, someone you may have met in your life if you live here or have come here before. She works at a local store that I frequent. That's where I met her. And she has a story that you're going to want to hear. And it's a story that's still ongoing, while as tragic as it is and has now become. Brandy, thank you for joining me here in the studio. First of all, introduce yourself. Who are you?
I have two daughters, one of which is still with me, one is in heaven. She was taken from me tragically in 2022, and we are obviously still looking for the person who took her. He is running, and we're just trying to get him off of the streets before he does this to somebody else.
Okay, and let me ask you this, Brandy. What happened? I know this is difficult to talk about, but what happened in September of 2022?
She was with her friend at this person's house, and he shot her. For what reason, we don't know, but he point blank shot her in the side of her head.
And how old was your daughter when this happened?
15.
Just 15 years old.
2 weeks shy of her 16th birthday.
And tell the people who are listening and watching, tell us about your daughter Haley.
For anybody and everybody that knows or knew Haley, she was someone that loved life. She loved to sing. She loved any type of music. She was in color guard. She was just someone that loved life in general. She had so many friends, several of which I still talk to today. She would have graduated this past May. The school actually did honor her at the graduation. I brought home her cap and gown. They did announce her name at the graduation. What really just makes me and my family mad is the fact of nobody did anything to help. They ordered pizza, and the pizza delivery person called for help whenever they delivered that pizza.
So you're telling me after this horrific incident happened,
She laid there on the floor and bled out.
and then they ordered a pizza.
Yeah.
That is heartbreaking on so many different levels. I empathize with you and your entire family, obviously. Let me ask you this, Brandy. Did law enforcement ever catch the person, arrest the person, talk to the person that allegedly did this?
So the local law enforcement at Millington, they did catch him. They charged him with reckless homicide and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. They gave him a $10,000 bond. He bonded out. And then Shelby County took it over. They upped his charges. He has a second-degree murder charge on him now and a few other charges, as well as the original charges. He showed up for one court date, and obviously he's not showed up for any other court dates. So he has several warrants out for his arrest. And the last that we heard, he's running. And nobody has seen him, heard from him.
Have you called them and said, where is this person? Is he going to be held accountable for his actions?
So my mom and I have both been in contact with the Shelby County DA and several, different people with the Shelby County law enforcement, trying to get answers, trying to figure out anything that we can. And we just always seem to get the same answer. Oh, we haven't seen or heard anything. Oh, as soon as we get any answers or any information, we'll reach out. It's going on 3 years. 9/11 will be 3 years. and we're still stuck in the same situation we were when it first happened.
Yeah, obviously a tough story to listen to, Leah. Good morning to you, by the way. You know, Brandy has been dealing with this in her family for, like she just said, the last 3 years.
Very heartbreaking that this family has to go through that.
Absolutely. And if you're watching, you might be asking yourself a couple of questions. What's his name? Why didn't I put that in the story? And what's his status? Well, the reason I have his name and I have his mugshot, and I decided not to put it in the story because I will at some point, but I reached out to the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and also the Shelby County District Attorney's Office to confirm some information, his name, all that. They have not gotten back to me yet, so erring on the side of caution, obviously, I'm not going to reveal that just yet, but I should hear back from them at some point soon. You know, and I asked the basic question, which is what Brandy also asked. What is happening? You know, if you know who this person is, you know, they have task forces that, you know, specifically look for people and, you know, hold them accountable. So, yeah, it's just a tough situation, something that we see in this part of the country far too often.
And I really commend the mother for telling her story. That has to be really hard to do. It's hard enough for a parent to have to bury a child,
Right.
but losing them to something that's preventable is so
Absolutely.
sad.
Absolutely, and my original intention was to just air the entire interview and not make any cuts, but I had to make a couple of cuts. One of them was because of the name that was mentioned and we talked about, but then also, you know, there was a moment where, just like any human being would do, you know, she stopped talking and was fighting back, you know, tears like a normal person would do, and so that lasted for, you know, about a minute or so. But yeah, it's just, you know, we cover the news and sometimes we forget about, you know, the people that are affected by this. And, you know, that's just one sad example out of far too many.
That's so important to put a face because gun violence is such a big issue, not only in Memphis, but around the country. And it's important to remember that these are real people and real lives impacted by this.
Absolutely, without question. And it's a sad reminder, like you just said, but hopefully later on this week, possibly on Friday, I'll have much more information and we'll have another conversation.
Look forward to hearing more, Scott. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll be right back after this short break.